You got GothFather Voodon here.
Oh, yeah.
You heard me?
Smelling it, you dig what I'm saying? How we doing?
Where we at? Where we at with
out
it?
here on Canal Street, you
Okay.
dig? In the middle of the city, you dig? Fresh off the flight, rockstar shit, no sleep,
Yes,
no rest.
sir. Yes,
You
sir.
dig? How the people doing? We living. You dig? Yes, sir. Walking through, just getting the color coordination and stuff, getting inspired. I go in different stores. I feel like you ain't really fly if you don't go in the store and see what's hot. You know what I'm saying?
You got a
know
window
where the,
shop.
Exactly. Or know where the sauce at. You know what I'm saying?
You ever been to 329 Vintage?
Yeah, I fucks
That's
with
my
them.
shop,
I
son.
fucks with them.
That place.
My favorite spot in the quarters though is UAL. A lot of people don't know.
UAL got a nice amount of shit up in there. They just built a new one on Magazine Street too.
Dead ass?
Yeah.
That's fire. Niggas don't even know, like around 2012, 2010, UAL used to have rap and everything. So you be on the VCR shit too. First came out, like I drop shit every week. I try to do some new shit every week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to stay ahead of the game. Cause it's four type of people with this industry, bro. It's people that watch the shit, that spectators, you know what I'm saying, that can actually get fly, but they not doing the hands-on work. Then you got your Teslas, the people who do the hands-on work, you know what I'm saying, but don't really get the credit they deserve. You ready for me? Yeah. Oh. I'm about to put the time on. You ready? Game Blacks. Watch how fast.
The fastest cashier in New Orleans right here, man. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Facts. Getting more people involved. You know, you gotta match the face with the brand nowadays.
Match the face with the brand nowadays.
Cause really and truly, you sell off of who you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or who people want you to know. You dig? I feel like
Drop the car.
Drop the guards, all blacks.
It's up for the camera.
You know what I'm saying? What's down with it, baby? You already know what it is. Big Smoke. You already know. You gonna
yeah, GothFather Voodon.
That's what it is. You hear me all day.
I have a going, G.
You cool, Smoke? I be tapping in with everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Waiters and all, you dig? Love the quarters. This the best view up here, bro.
Different colorful characters in here. What is going on?
Busting down the Gucci. Busting down the Gucci's. I don't do the backwards, man. That's when we get to the top. We about to open up a shop on 2-lane.
Okay.
Me and Easy. He's sitting down, he over Paradise, if you ever seen his brand. But we sitting down, organizing the shop. But the goal is we're gonna try to set up a plan, sell enough units to move to New York and open up a new location.
But still keep that location down here.
Still keep the location down here. You know, just stamp down here and then dip off. Most people dip off and then come stamp down here. So, rooftop things. You dig? We don't have much piff. We waiting on the weed, man.
Shit, I'll put in.
Dig that. But yeah, Keys, the one who you was just talking to, me and him used to work. When I was doing the music shit, me and him, I had a tour set up with him last summer.
Okay.
You dig?
Wait, so you do music and shit too?
I just fell back off it recently because I wanted to kind of build my name up, man.
Yeah,
like,
you wanted to
I feel-
concentrate on something else.
Yeah. And then it's just like, your name is more important than your brand and what you do nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Name is more important than your brand and what you do nowadays.
So I was like, man, if I get myself a little bit more popular, then I'll reintroduce my music, because it wasn't like I was making some shit that everybody could just hurry up and vibe to. You know what I'm saying? When you really working on some different shit, no matter if it's clothes, if it's music, if it's makeup, whatever that shit is, it's gonna take longer. So like, I was like, man, I might as well just start working on building good relationships.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like just being a good business person and just a good person to people, so people feel like, man, I won't fuck with bro just out the fact I know what he stand for. You know what I'm saying?
You know the genuineness behind it.
Facts. And then it's all about the introduction of shit. Like the one thing I really peeped from like a business class I took, like, and everybody hear this shit a lot, but first impression is the most important impression. You know what I'm saying? So just like how you were saying, when I followed you and you checked out my brand, you was like, oh, wow, this shit is crazy. First impression.
Right.
You could have went on that bitch. I could have had in the bio, I'm a designer, I'm this, that, and the third with one picture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It don't really match up.
That's why with my bio, I just say artist and I post whatever the fuck I want.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. But your content's so healthy. You see what I'm saying? You could really tell motherfuckers whatever, just out of the fact that you have healthy content. You know what I'm saying? That's what we in a generation of too nowadays. Like if your content don't match what you say that you do, or if your content don't match the quality of what your brand is supposed to be on, people ain't gonna fuck with it, bro. People ain't gonna fuck with it. But the good thing about this city, bro, like really and truly, we stamping ourselves.
Yeah, we doing this shit all ourselves.
I think it was this one lady who did a studies in 1975, but basically what she was saying was the human diaphragm has, well, the human whatever physique, mentality, consciousness, it had changed. We got 12 chakras instead of 7, and it's a generation called the indigo kids. Basically like this generation of kids that's super duper inclined in creativity and artisticness, that's supposed to come and really just like be the new format, basically the millennials. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of shit what people seeing is like it's already written in time. It's the shift. It's the shift of things, man. Yeah, bro. What I consider myself indigo, probably. A lot of motherfuckers don't know though, but I'm low-key old as shit, yo. I'm 37.
You're 37 years old?
I'm 37, bro.
You dead ass? Nigga, you do not look 37.
I know.
You look my age.
I got this one juice, you know that juice Pharrell be using? It's like the elixir of life and shit. I've been sipping that shit since I was 10. You know, I had like the Benjamin Button syndrome. You know, I looked old as fuck when I was a baby and I just kept looking younger.
This sound like a joke. How old are you for real, son?
I'm 23.
Okay,
My birthday was yesterday.
It was. Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you.
How's it feel to be 23?
Thank you, fam. 23, Jordan numbers. Yeah. I'm from here. Dig. But yeah, how I feel, man. 22 was really like the year of my first everything. Like I did my first, I probably touched my, okay, thank you. But yeah, like 22 was the first year that I really did a lot of things. I bought my first house. You dig? I probably made my first rack over with the clothes. I got evicted. Like I just went through everything for the first time while being 22. So like I feel like this year I'm really set up for success as far as like how many L's and shit I've took. Like I've been taking. It just
makes sense for it to equalize now.
Exactly. And then it's like you go through this journey with this shit where it's like you gonna get beat all the way down, bro. You gonna get broken down to your lowest form. You ain't gonna have shit. You ain't gonna be able to do shit, and it's all to build you up because it's all about dedication. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like with my journey, like God was really breaking me down in a lot of situations to prepare me for what's to come, and really understand why it's coming and what it's coming for. You know what I'm saying? Like I done been homeless before. You know what I'm saying? I done been on drugs before, all that shit. But at the end of the day, it was all a part of the experience of being where you at now, because when you really get in these environments where it's real money involved, because like a couple racks here and there, that ain't real money. When you really around real money, you gotta be groomed, you gotta be prepared, you gotta be set up for that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't know this, but at first I was working 2 jobs. I used to work from 4 in the morning all the way to like 2 the next morning.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I really was just doing that just to prove like I ain't no fuck up, bro. Like I feel like us as New Orleans men, or just New Orleans people in general, like the biggest thing we be trying to prove is that we're not a fuck up. Yeah, like we not wasting time or wasting. Make somebody understand a vision that you have. And the reason I said it is because like you the only person that wake up and see that shit every day. Like nobody else is getting blessed with that vision or discernment to see what's to come in the future.
Nor can they see it the way that you do.
Exactly. So it's like I stopped trying to explain myself. Like I just work now. I just show people, you know what I'm saying? Because in the phase of me trying to understand, get people to understand, it tarnished a lot of my relationships. Because it's like, I'm trying to put you on the same page or level with you. I'm bringing myself down to level with you. And it's like, you're not getting it. And I'm giving it to you how, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I really just be dolo on my own kick, doing my own thing, and really just pushing my brand to the, like, it's so much structure to this New Orleans shit. Like, it's crazy. And it's the fact that the millennials are moving in and they don't really understand the structure is making it to where like it's niggas who probably been watching the wave all this time or studying the game all this time that's really now getting their shot and getting their chance. And it's pros and cons to that, because it's like it's the pros of it because it's giving everybody a demographic, everybody a platform. But the cons to it is you got motherfuckers who really feel entitled because they've been doing this shit for so long. You got a motherfucker who never wanted to switch it up, bro. Like I see a lot of that with like people that came up before me, because I come from the era where it's like people mass producing jeans, bro.
Right.
Like my generation, we really coming out with the jeans. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what we do. The generation before me was really like t-shirts and shit. So if you really been a student of the game and you was around when they had Sickest, you see what I'm saying? Clothing lines like Sickest, 86 Dope. When Currency had the Fly Society shirts.
I remember those.
Yeah, like when they had Traffic Boutique on Dauphine Street. If you come up around that era, you realize like it's niggas from that era who's still around and probably like OGs in the game, made mad money from the shit. And it's niggas who's still around that been doing it and never switched up. They never switched up, and that's the niggas who be hating and shit and feeling some type of way when they see this generation coming up, because it's like, nigga, I've been doing this shit, but like, bro, you've been doing it, but all you've been doing is selling t-shirts for 20 years plus. It's change. It's a change in the game. It's a shift. Like I remember when me and my bros, we'll sit down, we'll be getting fresh, get fly, go places and shit like that. Interested in this shit. Like it's been on some shit where motherfuckers been interested in apparel, art, and just how
that's just something that y'all grew up on, because as kids we ain't have none of that shit. We wanted all that shit for ourselves, and like the fact that we couldn't go out and buy the shit that we wanted, that's what sparked that creative shit.
There you go. You know some shit, Gully. Real talk. Real talk, bro. That's where it all started at, when a nigga really realized, fuck, we can't go buy no $800 sneakers. Like UAL, one of my favorite stores, but we used to hit licks out UAL, yo, to get fly. Like real nigga shit. Nigga go somewhere, we going somewhere, like we might go hit licks the whole day before that on just clothes, like just fucking accessories and shit, wallet chains and fucking new shoestrings and just different shit, like, and that evolved. That evolved to what you see now, like what you see now with most of our brands. Like it's almost like watching the Indie 2000 scene with fucking System of a Down, Collective Soul and shit, and how these people was taking like, all right, we all are rock and roll artists, but we gonna fuse it with reggae and hip hop. Like that's the era motherfuckers seeing right now, like the evolution of the offspring. You dig? But I'm the type of person, I pay homage to people, bro. Like if some shit really inspired me to do some shit, I pay homage. And a lot of people in this generation, well, people in our city, because other places they pay homage, but people in our city, like, they find it hard to just really sit down and like pay homage to somebody out of respect for what they do.
Out of respect, yeah.
You dig? Like I heard Rocky say that shit in an interview, like it's okay to be inspired, my nigga, but don't be influenced. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people, that's why I say it's cons to what's going on. It's pros and cons to it. But it's a lane. It's a lane for everybody, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta know yourself before you try to step into somebody else's lane. You gotta know that this you and this what you stand stand for, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta know yourself completely. You gotta have that self-love all the way down.
Exactly, bro. Self-love, self-confidence. You just gotta know. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say when you really accept this shit in your life and you be like, all right, this is what I'm about to do for the rest of my life, son. That's when the fuck shit start happening. That's when a storm come. That's when all this shit happen that break you down.
Hey, God sends like his worst demons for his best soldiers.
Yeah.
Type shit.
His worst, I think it's like God got his worst wars for his strongest soldiers or something.
Yeah.
I feel that. Somebody got that shit tatted. But that's a powerful quote too, bro. And it's just like, you got good intentions, you got a good spirit, like I'ma automatically gravitate to you in the weirdest way. We probably done walked across each other or something before in life, gave each other a God, anything like that.
Alright, so as far as like homage and inspiration, like what inspired you to create your shit? Like,
I always been the type of person, like I was saying earlier, it's 5 type of people in the games. The ones that I didn't mention is the people like low key, I'ma just come clean, like the slackers, bro. Like the niggas who could do this shit and be the coldest niggas, but they be like, I don't really give a fuck.
yeah.
Like that was the kind of guy I was. Like I was always on somebody, signing something for somebody, or like sewing some shit for somebody. I was always that nigga, but I would classify myself as something totally different. Like I didn't want to accept that this was my fate all along type shit. You know what I'm saying? And it came a situation where this one particular brand I was working with, like I seen that brand grow. Like dude went from selling like 10 t-shirts to like 100 t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? And I realized like he wasn't trying to cut me in, and I'm like, man, damn, like I really just helped bring his brand up, and you know what I'm saying? And dude ain't even want to pop me off type shit. As far as art, I always been inspired to get my emotions out through art. Like I always had a temper and anger problems, so I would find other ways to channel my anger, like just channel my aggression. And then I was punished. Like I was the one kid who was just always punished. My mama used to keep me inside. Like she'll take all the video games, take a nigga phone, like she'll take everything. So like the only thing I had to really fuck with is like notebooks, colors, and like markers and shit. So like I sit there, I remember one time I sat there and like I wrote out a fucking show. I had to be like fucking 10, 11, bro. I wrote out a show, and like it was like some Avatar shit, and I drew out all the characters and like all the outfits and like scenes and shit of them
so you
fighting.
had the whole shebang with that bitch.
Yeah, like I just
everything.
really, it was like, let me just see how far I could go with this as a youngin'. Like that's how my mind was. Let me see how far I could go with it. And it was just like, I got far with the shit. Like I was just, one day I fucking looked at the notebook and nigga damn near filled that bitch up. Like I could have sold season after season type shit. You dig? Like I ain't even holding you. Basically when I started Draconem Jeans, I had a brand before it called Slyry Red Door. And like I made a website and all that shit. I did a runway show, but my problem was I only made like, at that time, it was like some couture shit. Like it was shit that you could only wear on the runway. Like it wasn't no wearable shit. That was the problem. It wasn't wearable. So I was like, I'm gonna take a break from Slyry and I'm gonna work on a brand of streetwear in my vision. So like when I did Draconem, it's like, this is how I see streetwear. You know what I'm saying? And that grew to me building a marketing plan, a business plan, where I was like, I'm gonna strategically get this to be $1 million brand, and I'm gonna sell it to start my house brand. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't know, but like I got a fucking portfolio, bro. Like I really.
This dude has mad shit, son. He drops shit every motherfucking week.
Yeah.
Like if y'all ever look at this man's Instagram page, it's flooded with shit that only this nigga made. Like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the video, y'all gonna get this man's Instagram, but
excuse me.
continue.
You dig? Yeah, real talk. But it's like, I got a portfolio, bro. Like that's what a lot of people don't know. Like I really sit down and I could sketch. I done sketched out 12, 20 plus seasons, and I didn't touch none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like a part of the business plan, like I had already had a strategic plan of building my brand to be what I vision it as, like a house brand. But I wasn't really making the money to finance that. So I was like, let me do some shit like this to really finance it and shit. And even still now, like I don't really put out many t-shirts and shit. Like, this probably like the second fucking t-shirt I made since like I started doing Draconem and shit.
Yeah, because I peeped it's only been hoodies, mostly.
Hoodies, jeans, really mostly jeans. Jeans, I done did bags and shit like that. But even now, like I'm saying, like, it's supposed to be streetwear. I don't put out that many fucking t-shirts. That's only because it's like, you know, like I said about the millennial generation, like, this generation is not about having that mass production of fucking shirts and shit. It's about having mass production of like jeans, full outfits. Cause you got niggas, I might be in some baggy ass camo one day, but I might be in some skinny shit the next day. Or I might be in a suit the next day. Like, how many looks can I execute based off of the type of person that I am? Like, that's what we see most of all. Like, you see personality fits nowadays. You might see a nigga redo some shit from the 90s because they feel like they're old soul. Or see some niggas that only wear like athletic gear, but they wear it on a high-end level because like they always been a fit type person. Like, but you also see like how those personifications, like, it multiplies, showing you how like, man, you can't just categorize people nowadays. Like I said, like, I wear skinnies, I wear baggy jeans, and I might wear a suit. So what type of person would you say I am? What box would you put me in? Would you put me in multiple boxes? You wouldn't be able to box you in. Exactly. It's eliminating the boxes because it's like, all right, you might think I'm this type of person, but low-key, I'm this type of person too. And that's why I feel like trap music blew up so much, because it was like, it's so many people that was like, all right, we like this type of shit, but we're not this kind of artist. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at the little Uzis, like, who are we to say like people like Uzi and fucking young bands didn't listen to fucking Gucci Man back in, and we were sitting with somebody from the generation before ours, they'll tell you the different shit they was inspired about, and then like you'll see why our generation is the way it is based on what we was inspired by. Like, I remember, like, fuck, we a part of the generation that seen fucking Lady Gaga wear a me suit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So of course you're gonna have like designers and shit that's inspired to like just go that extra mile, because this is what we were seeing. I remember when Kanye said, I am a god, like he had the song on Yeezus, like that was the first time you ever seen somebody really refer to themselves like that in the mainstream. Yeah, and then after that, it became that theory of how like we're all guys, but like not a lot of people are like ready to embrace that conversation yet. That's a big convo. Yeah. Not gonna cap. But it's just how somebody could do something and like the offspring of what happens, like the butterfly effect of what that caused. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what the butterfly effect of fucking Nipsey Hussle introducing everybody to Dr. Sabies is, bro. Like, the offspring of that shit, the butterfly effect of that shit might be a generation that doesn't eat fast food. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we're exposed to, and like, that's why, you know, I look at my art on the pedigree of being somewhere up there with like the John Gulianos, the fucking Alexander McQueen's, the Ray Kawakaboos. Like, I could feel like I could be on their level based off of the shit that I already seen. Me every day. You see that? Look. You dig? Like, look, explain. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? I got the Divine Feminine joints on right now. You dig? How these bitches was done, you dig? It was 2 pair. I'ma break down upside downs for you niggas, for everybody that wanna know what these jeans are. These jeans are when you take 1 pair of jeans and you cut it like right there around the calf, and you sew another pair of jeans on to give it this bunched up look. Now the reason the upside down. Which part of the jeans do you sew? Yeah. No, I'm asking, like, from the other pair of pants, which part of the jeans do you sew? Like, you cut from the knee? Yeah, all right. Now this would be the bottom pair of the other pair of jeans. Okay. So you cut like in the same area on both jeans, and you just re-sew them together, and it gives it like a real crunchy upside down kind of effect. Yeah, and it helps it stack a little bit more too. These in particular though, I made these tight, yo. I made these skinny for a reason, because like I see everybody wearing like the baggy upside downs, you know, stay ahead of the game type shit. And the Draconem shirt, like this bitch, I done wore it probably 8 times. I done wore the rhinestones off of it, but I try to just make sure like everything I got on is just the brand. What else you got on here? You dig? The Draco blazer piece, the pearls, and the fucking sequins. A lot of people don't know sequins can't be done by a machine. You can only do that by hand, like, and that's really New Orleans culture. Like, when people see me incorporate jeans, rhinestones, sequins, feathers, we're going to be on that fucking high-end fucking level based off of people like me and other designers in the city because of our culture, bro. Because we are exposed to a culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you see people that's not exposed to no culture but, like, city life, like, it shows in them how far they could go with this shit. But, like, the people that's really brought up from a culture, like, when you see European fashion, not Middle Eastern, but Eastern fashion, like, you know, Japanese brands and, you know, different brands like that, you see how it's based off of their culture. But the reason I said our city isn't too far off, because how long we've been having fucking Indian costumes and shit going on? Like, we've been having that shit going on since the fucking, 50s? The Indians been walking, yo. And niggas don't even know those costumes take 3 to fucking 5 years, some of them. Some of them costumes they've been working off a whole 2 years. Yeah, and every year they suiting up with something new. That's high end. That's high end. That's what we coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not New Yorkers where we coming from fit and fucking Parsons and shit. Where, like, you dig? Like, come on, bro. Like, the reason New York fashion goes so hard because, like, they was a part of the hip-hop early culture when they was seeing the breakdancing and the graffiti and how that shit morphed their you know what I'm saying? Morphed their perspectives. That's where the dappers come from. And this is where we're coming from. We coming from those costumes that's taking 2-4 years. Mardi Gras floats and shit. That's different concepts that might be parody skits and shit like that. You go to Crew de Boo, like, this is all concepts based off of, like, parodies and, like, anarchy and, like, just shit that's anti-government and shit. Like, we been on this shit where, like, we gonna wake y'all up through our art. High key. It's the moment of, like, fucking debauchery and shit like that, but it has also ties into that culture when you go back to, like, fucking Bacchus and shit, and, like, how Bacchus was the patron of, like, fellowship, you know what I'm saying, and, like, all of this fucking debauchery shit, you know, but we ain't gonna get into that. That's what our city is, though, and we embrace that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Our city will make you question, well, is it good, is it bad? But then they make you go into a deeper question like, fuck, well, what's the deeper meaning? You know what I'm saying? If it ain't good, if it ain't bad, then what's the deeper meaning? And why is it that y'all follow through with that? You know what I'm saying? Why y'all continue going on if this is the ultimate, you know what I'm saying? But how Draconem got the name is basically like, it's the first way that you could, like, pronounce dragon.
Okay.
So, like, a lot of the reasons why fucking the knowledge behind dragons and shit, how that shit been demonized is basically because, like, the whole time we've been saying this shit wrong. In original fucking cultures and shit, like, dragon was like a sign of, like, wisdom and, like, transformation and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It didn't get demonized till, like, the 18th centuries where, like, they took that and really made it, like, it was a symbol of, like, serpent. Like, if you was to look the word up, it's gonna say, like, giant serpent or giant snake, but, you know, it's actually a symbol of, like, wisdom and shit like that. Like, no, I ain't about to go get no dragon tattoos or nothing, but I feel like that's some corny shit if I was to do that. You know what I'm saying? Or, like, you don't never see me just go, like, all the way. Like, it might not, I might put a dragon on every 1 or 2 pieces.
Yeah, but it's nothing that you gonna mass produce.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't try to over-exuberate it.
Like, your logo is enough. Like, it explains. Like, I'm glad you told me that because I didn't know that was a way to pronounce dragon. Like, I really had no idea what the name meant. I just knew that shit was popping.
And then people have fun with it too. Like, they Draconem, like, I got the Draco in my jeans. Like, it's funny when I watch people come up to me and they tell me, like, how they perceive it, or, like, what they thought the name was, or, like, somebody came up to me and they was like, so I thought the name of your brand was GothFather. You know what I'm saying? And, like,
that's your name brand, like, that's your brand, like, GothFather, that is
that
you.
name is new. That's fairly new. Like, if you know.
What was your name before?
Shit, I got so many names, bro. Like, if you go in the city, you might catch me around a hood crowd and they might say, what's up, Paul? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you might catch me around some people I went to school with and they might call me by my real name, Lemoyne. You know what I'm saying? Or, like, my college friends, they'll say Peas. Or they'll call me Voodoo Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done went through so many evolutions of names, you dig? And I feel like that's a good thing. Like at first niggas used to be like that was some like low key fake shit. Like if you kept switching your name, but like
but it's
I
just like you trying to find your persona.
But then again, it's like shit. Look at it like this, bro. If we was to sit 10 different people down right now and tell them perceive God to us, they would say different names. They would say Allah, they'll probably say Jesus, they'll say different names. And who's to say that they all wrong, bro? Like I feel like the path, like what people miss with God and like religion and shit, like what if God was just exposing himself to different cultures? That like what if all of these writings are on a big scale of time, bro, and this is just like when he was just passing through all of these different people's lives, like when he was going through the phase where he was around all of the Middle Eastern people, he went through a phase where he was around all of like the European people, the black people, like he went through different phases and they gave him
every
different
God
names.
you're saying it's the same, just
it's
like
the same one, but different experiences. And I feel like that's how my life is. Like if you sit 10 people down, 10 different people down that know me, like from family to friends to like acquaintances to co-workers to fucking enemies, if you sit all 10 of them down and ask them to describe me individually, it wouldn't be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I've been embracing like evolving, like niggas run away from that shit. Like I've been embracing like evolving and transforming, and how can I?
Because
like,
people are afraid of change.
Yeah.
And when you're afraid of change, that's how you get stuck.
Yeah, like fuck, you take a year from now, bro, I probably had a bald head, bro, no diamonds on my teeth, bro. You know what I'm saying? You take a year before that, I probably had a nose ring with a little bush. Like I've always know you from the photos, and then you woo them over with your other talents. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate that people reject that. It may very well be a group of people or like a part of every race of people that have multiple talents, bro. Like if you that person that got multiple talents, like people low-key be trying to shit on you, bro. Like, have you seen your work? Bro, you are beyond talented. That shit shows, bro.
I appreciate that, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You could tell the real genuine people that do shit when you look at their work and see like, all right, let me see how many different ways I could approach doing my shit. We know it's the central way, the one way. All right, let me see how I could branch off and do a little bit of this and do a little bit of that with just this, with just photography. You know what I'm saying?
Like I want my shit to be a whole media thing. Like the reason I'm starting to know. Yeah.
You could damn near just document it by writing that down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like that's what these big brands want to see when you walk in there. They want to see a documented down plan of growth. Like how do you see your brand growing, and what do you see it growing into? How you gonna execute that vision?
Word.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just about who you willing to share your ideas with. Makes a ton of difference now. That period for what you got the blessing. Now you gotta distribute it. You know what I'm saying? It come a period of receiving the blessing, being prepared for it. It's seasons, bro. It's just when you go to understanding that it's seasons, you more at peace early on. Cause like mental health, you know, we could very well touch on that in huge detail, bro. But the underlying thing about it is people walk around fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
Like fucked up, either fucked up bottling shit in or fucked up because shit constantly happening. And it's like when you really sit down and understand how the game works as far as seasons with life, then you realize like why you are going through what you're going through, you go to appreciating that shit. Like I said the other day,
you gotta
like,
appreciate your struggle. You gotta love your struggle in order to get out of that shit. So
facts. Like I remember like 2 weeks ago, like I was like, damn, like it's fucking retrograde in every planet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck it. That's what I went back to saying about like, you know, cultures that's really been going on that give you the real guideline of life that we don't know, that we're not exposed to, but in actuality what made life better back then before all of this industrialization and shit was the fact that they knew how the cycles worked. They knew it was a time to grind, pray, sacrifice, hardship, blessing. They knew the shit. So where like they organized life around it for a reason, bro. And it's like that's why we be in so much chaos, because we don't know like what the fuck we be going through. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what we going through in our sky. We don't know what we going through in ourself. like why we feeling what we going through. Because I feel like anybody that experienced real depression is somebody that's about to transform into something great, bro. And that's the phase of like where you gonna either, that's the diamond phase when you start going through the fire and you really experiencing emotions because you changing. Your body is not even understanding the transformation you're going through. That's why you might be feeling hurt towards somebody or hurt towards a situation because you just experienced it. And like after you absorb it, you gotta release it. Like that's what food we see, and it's crazy because it's like people don't understand how life works, and we see this shit go on every day. Like when you eat, my nigga, you eat, you absorb it, and you shit it right back out. Right. So what make you think like experiences and shit that you go through is not the same cycle? If this something that happens, even with oxygen, like the smallest scale, it's happening and showing you what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? But it's understanding, bro. Like you gotta get right with yourself and understand yourself before you even ready to subject yourself to that type of information that can help you be a better person, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what alchemy is. If you really define that shit, is when you take like yourself and you transform your soul to something higher, like to the ascension thing. Ascension. When you transform, when you evolve, bro, into gold, you know, the most purest version of yourself. Yeah, ascension. That was ascension. But yeah, bro, I'm in tune, bro. Like,
nah, I can tell. Do you read a lot?
Fucking right.
What do you like to read?
Bro, that's a long list.
It's big.
I started off reading the Bible. I'ma be honest.
Right.
When I was young, like I went to Catholic school, like it's Catholic peripheral, right? I don't know, fuck Catholic schools and shit. I was going to them and like I was just into the Bible, bro. Like the story just was real as fuck to me. Like so I got into that, and then that evolved into I moved to California around Katrina. And my cousins and shit out there, they Muslim.
Word.
You dig? So like me as a youngin', like that, it was like change was always being forced on me. Like beyond what the hurricane did for the city, like just me going from like a Catholic culture to like a Muslim culture. So I started reading like the Quran and stuff. Then like as I advanced on, I got into like the Bhagavad Gita. I got into the I Ching, like all these different like knowledges from each culture, because like for me it looked like it was pieces of the story that was missing, and like you would pick up on parts of other people's story where like it tells the missing part, and then like that just increased my hunger for knowledge, and then I started reading like real deep shit. I ain't even gonna say like some of the books and shit on the camera, you see what I'm saying? That's for like personal conversations with people that's watching, you know what I'm saying? They walk up to me. But like real knowledge, like I wanted to understand what real knowledge is. That led from, you know, when I was in college, well, when I was in high school, I was in AP literature, like what is that, Excel classes or some shit? I was in AP literature. So like my teacher, she just really took a liking to me early, and she used to just expose me to like strong literature like Shakespeare and fucking, like I read Faust, story of Faust, different shit like that, Gilgamesh. I read that, and then like when I got to college, it was like I was being tested on that shit, but my whole focus in college was like fucked up, because like I was like fresh out of jail. Like I had just did like 6 months in jail, like as soon as I graduated high school type shit. So like my mind, it was just kind of like being reintroduced with freedom too fast. Like
people be like, cause college is like jail.
No, bro, it's not. Cause you go from a controlled environment that's completely controlled all the way down to like when you use the bathroom, bro, to a completely free environment to where like everything you have access to. You know what I'm saying? But when I was in college, that's when I really honed in on doing music too, cause like my roommate at the time, he had a studio set up, and like we made our room like the shit, bro. Like we used to have it set up like a cafe at first in the living room, like some whole different shit. We really just zoned in on the music, bro. Like just how could we recreate sound, bro? Like we used to sit there and fucking program our vocals on the MPC pad and try to play the fucking song out on the MPC. Like we was on shit like that. Like how far can we go with changing the landscape and the sound? That's why like I say it ties into me doing fashion, because like without music, bro, I feel like it wouldn't even be like no fashion industry, bro.
No,
like the cultures of like
great.
hip hop, pop, like rock and roll, like it's so, the influence is so deep on fashion, and it's just like I started getting into like different music. Like it's just my mind was starting to be adjusted to like being exposed to different shit. Like I ain't get into like country and shit, but I was getting into like deep ass like blues, like indie rock, like fucking house, like all type of shit, like old DJs and shit from like the fucking 80s and shit. Like I was deep on trying to find like fucking mix sets and shit at first, because like we used to have this shit when we be in a room. Like we'll be just smoking, or like I might be sitting there working on clothes or something, and we'll just see who could put together like the best DJ set, like while we vibing. You know what I'm saying? Like a mixture of like all the dopest musics. You know what I'm saying? But
what were you majoring in?
I was majoring in business.
Okay.
At first, I was a business major, but I ain't take this shit serious. So like, I'm not discouraging nobody in college right now to like stop taking it serious. Like, continue to take it serious, because I see what my mind could have been. But I also know, in order for me to dedicate myself fully to something like that, I would have to sacrifice my creativity in the process, bro. Because it's like dedicating yourself to structure is eliminating the free formity of like creativity, bro. Like how that shit just come with the creative process. It come a time of structure where like you just got all this shit and you have to like make it make sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Come a time for that, but in the early phases of it that I was in school, man, I wasn't ready for that shit, bro.
Nah.
And it's the beauty of what you're saying of I can still sell my clothes and do that in between that, bro. Like the fact that that's a source of revenue and an option now for people our age, bro, it's so beautiful, man. Like niggas before that probably was like, yeah, cause I'm gonna give me like a pound of weed. You see what I'm saying? I'm about to trap. I'm gonna trap it out. But like, nah, these kids that's coming up under us, they like, shit, how we gonna make money through the gram? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got those ways of, you know, and then you tapped in with real people. So of course your quality gonna be up. You dig? I see the vision, bro. I see the vision. And that's what I was saying at the beginning. Like, bro, we really putting our city on the map, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is really fucking happening, bro. It's gonna be to the point where, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people with money, millionaires and shit, they like to say people fly over New Orleans. Like, they pass New Orleans up as far as making money.
Right.
But it's like, man, shit, that shit changing, bro. Entertainment in the next 7 years might already be dominated by New Orleans. I mean, like 7 years from now, New Orleans has already stamped itself as being. But we really strongly believe like hurricanes is a curse on New Orleans, bro. Like that's the spirit of like all some unsatisfied slaves that probably been mistreated on that route, because hurricanes come from the West African coast. You know, that was the slave route.
Exactly.
So we be like, me and my grandma always talk about how like, man, that shit tied in the spirits, and they gonna eventually like wipe away this city, because this was where slaves were sold to like the states. Like slavery wasn't like heavy in the city here because they had cold Nora at first. This was because we got the biggest port. Yeah, but you see that shit now more than ever, son. Spiritual warfare really real here, son.
It is.
Like that spiritual warfare is serious down here, bro. Like that shit is really serious. You gotta protect your neck. You gotta protect yourself. I tell anybody before you come in the quarters, man, look, be prayed up, bro. Be prayed up for real. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see like a lot of like esotericism and like occultism down here, because like these little groups and shit, some of them be working to like defeat some of those mechanisms of evil that's strong down here, and like, you know, different like witch circles and like voodoo circles, like they doing this shit because like we need recovery down here, and also our soil is pure. It's from the ancestors, you know what I'm saying? The last indigenous population was probably down here. So that's strong as in bloodlines of people that's like real strong, like clairvoyant people, like black people, Caribbean people, all these people that done branched off into the states, that got families that come from generations. might have started very well down here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody really goes into a sense of being like just sleeping, absent of what's going on, bro. Your spirit continues to come back until the earth dies completely. Because when that happens, like maybe that's what fucking Judgment Day is, who knows? But when that happens, that's when like I feel like we return to a time, a point in time where time stopped existing. Like how a lot of people like to mention like the infinite eight, the belt of life and death. It's a cycle, it keep happening. But above that is where it's a circle. It's a cycle of time where time is absent, stops. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we got a form of us that lives in that time frame, that's experienced all the shit we done went through, that kind of be walking us through life type shit. And when we re-encounter that part of us, we feel more complete and we could see more of on a dimension. Like, we see more in that dimension. We can understand that dimension. It could very well already be existing around us, but we can't see it because we haven't evolved and we haven't ascended to that point yet. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I tell people, like, a lot of people, everybody I run into, we have conversations about how they feel like their soul or their spirit has been here, or like experiences they'll go through or feel the same, or like they'll feel familiarities with it. And I'll be like, man, bro, it's real when they say nothing under the sun is new. Like, everything that we live in is a format of something that's already been done. The 60s, the 70s, you probably always been around. I feel like I lived a toxic life before too, bro. Like, I done just been fucked up. Like, but I probably was like homeless fucked up. Like, the nigga like was on the street fucked up. Like, I don't know, bro, but like I feel like I've been through that before, like in one of my lives. I done had friends say that shit, like, bro, you probably was a soloist or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, man, I don't feel like I got a new soul. I feel like new souls are people that's like ignorant and shit.
Yeah.
The reason I say that, they just fresh to everything. Like, a new soul is probably something that's fresh to everything and is not trying to experience. Yeah, because it's still in a baby phases of like life in general. You know what I'm saying? They waking up to, oh, I might have lived different lives. Like, maybe my soul isn't that fresh. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really get into deep conversations with people. Like, when I see people out, cause I'm very like, I could talk about whatever, bro. Like, I'm not one of those quiet people, but like I'm not super duper friendly because of that. Because of that, like, people be closed minded to a lot of shit that I be really into. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, you tuned in, bro. But then again, you gotta think about your roots too. We haven't been around enough places to know how many people see it. The numbers of people that actually really just good people. And that's when you really realize, like, the universe serious, bro. It's really trying to tell you something. Like, when somebody just stumble across some words that make sense in a deeper way to you, be like, you know, you on the right path. Like, just some subtle ass shit that they don't even know, that's like, it just sent off lights in your brain and let you know you're really doing something right.
Planting seeds.
Right. Tap in, bitches. GothFather Voodon.
Just stop.